Hello! Welcome to the S Word live from Miami. Woohoo! I'm usually in Detroit, but today I get to come to you from Miami. Now, I was going to go on the beach and share this amazing topic with you, but it's slightly bad weather out right now. Maybe I can go out on the beach later. Welcome to the S Word Live, a place where every single week, Wednesdays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, you can come and get some actionable steps to make sales simple and fun for you. So say hello as you join, whether you're live or on the replay. My name is Renee Rebar. I'm a sales strategist, TEDx speaker, and author, and I have spent the last 2 decades honing, developing, and creating unique and special custom systems for businesses probably like yours. So if you're a coach or a consultant or a done-for-you service provider or an agency owner, it's very possible that you might have tried selling the traditional way and it might not have worked for you. What I hear all the time from people who come to work with me or people that have even taken some of my free training is, wow, you look at it in such a different way. You took such a different perspective on it. And I love hearing that because that's exactly how I felt 20 years ago when I was coming into the sales world as a professional saleswoman. All of my coaches and trainers were all men, and they were usually middle-aged white men, and they had a completely different view on life than I did. And at the end of the day, how I am as a person comes through with how I sell. And so if you find that the traditional means that are out there, hello Diane, say hello as you join. Tell us where you are in the world. I'm in Miami today. So if you've tried selling before for your business, but it just felt like the traditional sales models, maybe you've bought a script from someone, maybe you've read some sales books, maybe you even took a professional sales course, but it just didn't resonate with you. You weren't able to take the information and then apply it to your business. I get it. I'm gonna give you 3 examples today of 3 very different clients that I was talking to this morning and how this applies to them and how it might apply to you. So for example, there is a business who the owner is a retired lieutenant colonel from Special Forces and has an outdoor adventure company. Okay, very unique business. Another business, a former chief officer of finance who is now consulting businesses to keep their cash flow positive. And then I have another business coach who she is a former Ivy League, MBA, Yale MBA, phenomenal at what she does, always has done the work, built all the back end for the marketing, but now she's using her 20 years of experience and consulting. So each one of those different business owners that I spoke to this morning were all talking to customers, potential clients today. And what we spoke about was how even though I do offer scripts and there is a framework, of course, and there are very specific questions that at least we need to start from, when it comes to actually deploying these strategies for your business, it might be different for you. So here's how I coach them. Hey Cheryl, how are you? Yes, finally managed to get on. Nice to see you here. So these are 3 different types of businesses. The first one, for example, when that individual, that owner of that company is getting a potential client, who that business speaks to, luxury, travel, $10,000 offers, out in the wilderness, so their clients actually have to be physically fit to be able to do it. That business owner, although using the same script that I offer to my Sell Like a Mother students, has to be shifted because the audience is different. The questions need to be different. I say all the time, good salespeople have a good pitch, but great salespeople ask great questions. And when people come to me asking about how do I handle objections, I say it all comes in the questions. When you ask the right questions, you're not gonna get that same kind of pushback at the end. So we worked on what questions to ask, and then more importantly, how to offer and explain the value of this particular offer. Because again, $10,000 out in the wilderness, they have to be physically fit. That's a very specific niche. There are different questions. And so creating that value, it's not about saying, oh, it's $10,000. Because as soon as you say that, most people don't even hear the rest. right? They're like, oh my God, $10,000. All they think is losing $10,000 or spending $10,000 versus the value of something like that and then the actual expense, right? So they can weigh it more objectively. So that is one type of client. The next client that I worked with this morning, same script, has potential clients on the phone 2 days. So we role played and we practiced and we got ready. Same script, but she's going to deliver it totally different because she has a different background and her potential client is a completely different type of business. So she will introduce herself differently. She will ask different questions, more specific to exactly what her end offer will be. The questions that we ask inform the offer that we deliver. And so when I teach even my entry level Sell Like a Mother students, we're always like working the offer and the questions at the same time so that they go together. People can come to me and have 0 offers, and when we work the questions, the offers come to light. It's really a beautiful system. So when I worked with the former chief of finance, she is speaking to a very specific type of business, asks different questions, and now explains the offer in a different way. But the overarching idea is, let me make sure that the person I'm speaking to knows my background. Let me make sure the person I'm speaking to feels seen and heard. And let me make sure that the person I'm speaking to knows that I am intent on caring for them and their business. And then, of course, how the offer is presented. Have you guys ever talked to different types of people? Have you ever changed your business model? Tell me in the comments. So have you ever spoken to different types of customers, offered different offers? Tell me in the comments if you've had different things, whether they're in your business now or if you've pivoted. Maybe you used to offer one service or product to one segment of the market and now you've shifted. And you're wondering, well, how do I shift my sales process? Because 100% you do need to shift it. So tell me below if you've shifted or if you can relate to the fact that this is going to be very different conversation, even with a potential customer who's already walked toward them and applied for a call. Hey, Bree, how are you? Say hello as you join. And then also, are you going to ask the different questions? Are you going to be able to, what's going to happen next, right? That's the real question. So here's the last example that I'm going to give you today for this exact scenario. So this particular third person is a business coach, has phenomenal experience, incredible education, like I've already told you before, so rewind if you didn't hear it. And I cannot tell you what a difference asking the right questions. Before we started working together, she wasn't talking about her background. She was simply talking about the product and the service. And so this is one of the biggest banes of the brain, in the fact that when you're intelligent and you're sharp and you've been in your industry for a long time, we get kind of executivitis. We forget what it's like to be new. And so the person that you're speaking to, and that's in this case with this particular business coach who I was coaching this morning, she didn't forget necessarily, but it was hard for her to empathize about being in that position. The person that is on the other side of that call, the person who's looking at you saying, please give me a solution to my problem, whether you're a coach, a consultant, or a done-for-you service provider, whatever your solution is, that person who's looking at you saying, oh, please help me find the solution to this, they most likely have never gone through that process before. If they have, it might have been years ago. Or maybe they were delivered that process from someone who isn't as kind and generous as you. Hey, Stacy, hello, say hello as you join. So, have you ever had to change your sales process? Have you ever asked a question in a sales call and gotten a strange response? You're like, ooh, I didn't want to have that response. Have you ever offered a product or service or delivered something and the person says, oh, I'm not sure if it's worth it? Well, those are all mile markers that you want to say, wow, I need to make sure I deliver my experience and make that clear. I need to make sure I ask very clear questions one at a time that are going to help me explain the value of whatever the offer is going to be. And then more importantly, I need to make sure that I talk about the smallest components of an offer so that the person who's hearing it sees all the bits that are included. Oftentimes when you're an expert, you'll say, well, I'm going to help you do this. And we talk in the result, and it's a big, broad result. And they're like so far behind, and that result is so far ahead of them that it's very hard for the potential client to go, yeah, I can see myself getting there. And that is where we break down the tiny pieces and we go step by step. And that is exactly what I want to encourage you to do today. So if you've tried selling before and it hasn't worked, it's important for you to know that it might just be you needed somebody to explain it to you. And I hope today just explaining those key components with those 3 examples would give you enough information to take some action today on your next phone call. Now, if you're not getting enough phone calls, or if your phone calls are still going off rails, then definitely let's continue the conversation. And even if not, if that's all A pluses for you, continue the conversation. I have an amazing, amazing community, and I send out all kinds of great free training. So I look forward to seeing you soon. See you next week. Thank you for stopping by the S Word Live.